What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you, well, with another market watch today. Paisanos, we got a huge problem. In this video, I'm going to be going over a new tier 1 deck coming out, the market responding to it like crazy, and of course the cards you can use to prevent yourself from losing to this deck. It's always important to have the right amount of knowledge in this game. With the right amount of knowledge, you can do anything. You can make money from the market, you can beat your friends at locals easily, and you can understand how to beat the best decks in the game. Knowledge is so important, but yet at the same time, not everyone has time to do all the research. No big deal. I have these videos for you. All right. So at the gate, Hidden Arsenal. Hey V, do I buy Hidden Arsenal? Some of you might say. No. Let me explain. Hidden Arsenal singles make more sense to buy. I mean, let's be honest with you. A box going for $12, as you can see over here, might look alluring until you realize the fact that the most expensive card is only doubled in price, $21. If you're looking to get skill drain, just buy it directly. I mean, yes, you can get an Elemental Hero Strauss dual terminal, but it's still nowhere near as good as the Ultimate Rare, the Starlight Rare, dual terminal rare, but it looks nice. Other cards are kind of cool, like Albaz, a Cycle Reader. If it was released about, I don't know, 6 months ago. Then we have Polymerization. But once again, why would you buy this version if you wanted to buy the actual dual terminal version? Then again, why would you want this version? Don't you want the first edition original print? You see what I'm going with here? These are all decent cards at best. Though I will say there's great value in here. I'm not saying there's not. But why would you buy sealed Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 boxes when you could buy the singles here on TCG Player? They're just better. I mean, 4-minute sneaker on $2, that is a steal. That's a great price for the card. There are a lot of great... Wabaku, Cyber Dragon, Armor Your Arm. These are excellent cards, but they're only excellent because you can buy them individually rather than buy sealed. In fact, moving over to Battle Chaos, can we already assume that this is not going to be a set you want to buy sealed? Of course it's not. I mean, look at the most expensive secret rare out of Battle Chaos. It's Illusionary Chaos, currently $41, almost $42. I mean, yes, you can pull an Ultra Rare Thunderies and an Event of Adventure. Cool, $13, not bad. But unless you're cracking Starlight Rares and an Ultra Rare Dark Magician, that'll be hard to sell. You're, for the most part, not really doing anything. By the way, Ultra Rare Dark Magician, which had a pre-sale price of, I don't know, $500, is down to about $140. Then we have Grand Creators. Now, this right here, this is a really good set. Besides the CRs you can pull, the Grand Creators obviously have cards like Red Armazir and Water Enchantress, cards Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to want. This is easy trade bait. This is a set you want to grab. If you win your locals or any event and you get prize packs, try to get them in Grand Creators. This is a set you want to go for. Looking at Axis Code Talker from Maximum Go Eldorado, the price is rising. But if you look over here, and once again, by the time you're watching this video, it might be gone. If you want to get a deal on a gold rare Axical Talker, I know it's gold rare, it's ugly. Secret rare is a lot, I get it. Secret rare is like $100, by the way. So, like, you can save money by buying this. Axical Talker is being sold right now for roughly around $41, $42. So, after that place had sold, it's roughly around $50, well, verified with sellers, $57 for Axical Talker. So, you want to buy one from a store that has 2,500 sales, I would do it in this one. Because evidently they don't realize the fact that this card is super undervalued that they have listing right now. Alright, Ice Dragon Princess is a really good card in a slower meta. And when I mean slower meta, I mean the meta we're going to be having in about, I don't know, 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Give it 3 weeks. That's all meta. This card actually might start seeing play in slower mid-range decks. Wouldn't be surprised if this card becomes a side deck card, to be honest with you. Trepidate Kid out of Blazing Vortex is still worth a lot of money because it has no reprints. If you have this card, just know it's worth roughly around $5. So if you want to sell a card $5 real quickly, it's going to be Kit. Alright, so let's talk about why in 3 weeks the game is going to change entirely. I mean entirely. Let me explain. They're going to be releasing the Albaz structure deck. The prices on Albaz cards, oh baby, they're worth a lot of money. Mirror Jade the Ice Blade Dragon is the card that is going to change the entire game as we know it. In fact, let's look into it. For the Albaz plus 1 Fusion Synchro Exceed or Link Monster. Really easy to make, to be honest with you, when you have the Albaz spell, which once again, maybe we'll talk about later on in the future. It says you're going to control 1 Mirror Jade the Ice Blade Dragon. Once per turn quick effect, you can send 1 Fusion Monster that lists for the Albaz as material from your extract to the graveyard, banish 1 monster on the field, but this effect cannot be used again until next turn. If this Fusion Summon card is in its owner's control, leaves the field by your opponent, you can activate this card. Destroy a monster your opponent controls during the end phase. The craziest thing about this card is the way it's worded. If this Fusion Summon card in its owner's control leaves the field by your opponent, So if I control the card and it leaves the field because of anything you did, doesn't affect procs during the end phase, I nuke your monsters. That's it. That's what this card does. This is the reason why a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players in this game are about to change the way they play the entire game. Mirror Jade the Ice Blade Dragon is a card that I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players don't realize how broken it is worded. There's no card in this game that has a crazy, insane wording like Mirror Jade the Ice Blade Dragon. This card's insane. And with it comes insanely high prices as Yu-Gi-Oh players prepare to play Albaz. We're about to enter a mid-range format, by the way. This is very significant because the game right now is roughly around 1, 2, 3 turns is really pushing it. But with Albaz coming out, we're going to change completely how we play Yu-Gi-Oh! We will be entering a mid-range format, and for those that don't play well, are going to get blasted. If you've been playing combo non-stop, you're going to get body. You've been playing control? Jesus, do you really play control? Maybe I've looked into Solitaire, it's really fun. What I'm trying to say is, this is going to change the mentality of every player. The better mid-range players are going to start getting rewarded. Exciting times for us all players. Alright, Aliber, the Jester of Despia. This card needs to calm down. I love how Konami made a reprint of another card we'll talk about in a second, and just totally forgot the fact that this needs a reprint, like Bally. Alright, let's look at its low prices from a very popular seller. The card's $110. $110 a copy for Aliber, the Jester of Despia. You might go, Paisano, ooh, my butt cheeks. No. We haven't even started yet. This is the lube to what's going to be happening. Because you need one Despia Queritus, I'm going to call it. That's it. Yeah, this bad boy is roughly around $7. You just need one. I don't know why it's 7. It wasn't hard card to get. Dramaturge Despia, which slowly will be falling off, by the way. I just want to throw it out there. This card we see play in the debut of Albaz and slowly fall off as Yu-Gi-Oh players opt not to play it. Dramaturge Despia right now is looking to be roughly around $8 on the market. We're not even done yet. Branded opening. This is a must-have card. This card should have got an ultimate rare printing because the art looks insane, but it didn't. So the market says this, and the card's roughly around $7 each. You're going to need 3 of these. Super rare, by the way. Albion, the Branded Dragon, also is a much-needed card. You're going to need at least 2. You probably really want to get 3 of this card. This is a card you're going to be wanting to send to the graveyard because the effect when sent to the graveyard, by the way, you can add to your hand or set one branded spell trap directly from your deck, which is really going to be something you're going to want to look into as this game progresses. Trust me, that effect, really broken. Okay, the value of this card, you know, $17 to $18, almost $19 a copy. You're going to need to get at least 2 of these. Fortnite Albaz did get a reprint. Secret Rares don't care, it's currently $30. Until that reprint happens, that's a $30 card. You can still get the Ultra Rare though, which is 47 cents. And to be honest with you, if I had to buy Albaz today, I would buy Super Rare Albaz, Ultra Rare Albaz from the 2021 Tuna HM battles and just wait for the Ultra Rare. That's what I would do, personally. Then again, I've been had this deck forever. I've been testing Albaz for about a year. So when it finally gets here, for me, it's go time. Hopefully everybody out there knows what this deck does. If not, you will lose to it. No doubt in my mind. Guardian Commander looks to be going down in value. Look at that. The current price point of the card is roughly around $34. After that, it's roughly around $38. I'm going to throw it out there real quickly. This is a must-have 2 of every single side deck in Albaz once it's released. This card is going to be the card you follow up with to kill your opponent. With 3300 attack and 3300 defense, this card will allow you to draw cards and will allow you to destroy cards in your post on the field consecutively. Really broken effect. All right. Programmable Juxtapelia is a card not a lot of players that are focusing on Albaz realize. This card is a needed card. This card current price point is roughly around $3, and it's an ultra rare. Grab it now while you can. Now, there are other print things from commons, all commons actually, and nobody cares about commons. It's about the ultra rare. It's $2. Buy it before it goes up. Because Masquerade the Blazing Dragon is the reason why Albaz is going to be such a good deck. Let me explain. A lot of decks that play mid-range, mid-range, control's different. Mid-range have a huge issue. They don't really have a good burn game. And we gotta throw that out there because it's a factor. With the Yu-Gi-Oh! Time rules being, well, how they are, burn is important. And Masquerade the Blazing Dragon makes it so every time your opponent activates any card, the card just add a text, pastes on the life points. Because that's what this card does. Anything you do, this card makes you pay 6 life points. It also stacks, so if you have 2 of these on board, your opponent is paying 1,200 life points. Yeah, and you can easily bring 2 of these out, by the way. This is not hard to do. It's not difficult. Masquerade the Blazing Dragon is a very easy card to bring out in the Albaz once it comes out. So, enjoy paying those life points. Players need to realize that this meta is going to be super duper mid-range. You're going to want to get involved. Okay, so besides the damage one, it's roughly around $7 a copy. You need only 2. Hey, V, I have 3. Good, sell 1. Hey, V, I got 1. Hey, go to that guy and buy 1. Do it quickly. Now, let's talk about how to beat Albaz, because anyone that's not playing Albaz is going to be focusing on how to beat Albaz. By the way, good luck. It's insanely difficult. I'm only playing Albaz, and I've been getting ready for Albaz because I realized that this deck is pretty much unbeatable. And the only way to beat Albaz is to play Albaz better than other Albaz players. I know I've been using that word a lot. I'm sorry about that. It's just, at this point, it's there. We'll say Brandon. Okay. Dimension Shifter is a really good card because it sends everything to the graveyard. Oh, I'm sorry, everything to banish, not graveyard. Okay. This card only has 1 printing out of 2019 Gold Star 10, and it's roughly around $9. Do you have your copies? All right. Relinquish Animal is a card that is used in and against, well, branded. It's a really good card, and to be honest with you, nobody's really looking at it right now. It has 2 printings, roughly around $1 or 2. You're going to want to grab these if you don't have these, and you can easily make these. Ghostbound Haunted Mansion is used in branded, but it's also used against branded. This card's actually going to be better, in my opinion, than a lot of other hand traps in the meta we currently have right now. I think Ghostbound Haunted Mansion is out of Flames Destruction Secret Rare is the best version, because it's the highest rarity. Don't question me, that's what we're going to do it as. Okay, let you play near mint versions, let's go. Besides all these idiots throwing out Korean copies for God knows why, it's roughly around $40 for an unlimited version. If you want to get a first version of the card, it's already at, let me make sure that's page 1. Yeah, it's already at $55. Quickly goes to $60. I predicted this card hitting $80. This card is going to be a blowout card in the upcoming meta. Seriously, you need to grab yours. And you might go, V, I ain't got that kind of money. Come on, man. No big deal. You got an alternate art. This looks gorgeous, by the way. I love the artwork on this card. I think a lot of players do as well. It's around $4 to $5 a copy. Another great card. Then we have D-Barrier. Now, Albaz is mostly fusions. In fact, it's just about all fusions. Mine's a couple of links that let them do cute things. For the most part, it is fusions, and D-Barrier is the card to use against them. It will sell them for the turn. Now, the problem with that is, and once again, I think this is a great card. It's going to see play. I want to be on the record for saying that. The problem with cards like D-Barrier is, and Albaz is, you just want to become a game of my turn, if I'm turn 1, your turn's our turn because it's past turn 1. I don't have any other cute analogy other than that. And that's going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Moving forward. So a lot of decks that can play on your opponent's turn is going to be about one of the best decks in the game, if not the best deck in the game. So what I mean by that is, D-Barrier is great for stopping an Albaz player that turn. What do you got to stop him on your turn? Because you need something. Now, if you look at the OCG, you can see over here, Flunderies is doing really well, to be honest with you. It's probably one of the best anti-meta / meta decks in the game, and will be once we get Albaz in the middle of this month. Well, next month. With that out, I do think a lot of players who are playing Flunderies can still continue to play Flunderies. But there's an issue. Here in the States, Flunderies is technically considered to be inexpensive, and it normally is. The problem is, it's really not. You see, you can run Pot of Extravagance, but in the OCG they run Prosperity. Why? Because the deck has a huge, massive problem bricking. I'm talking like Virtual World problems bricking. And you're going to need to use cards like Prosperity and Duality to dig in your deck to get the common pieces you're going to need. Prosperity lets you draw 2, but these cards can help you dig, and if you can dig into your deck, that means you can access more plays. Access more plays? Well, you get combo. That's what you really need. Now, this is an OCG list. I will say that's true. And yes, Prosperity is a lot of money. That's true. But the rest of the deck isn't as much money besides, well, Ryza the Mega Mark. This card is worth a lot of money. Like a crazy amount of money. Like $63 a copy. A lot of money. The biggest problem with Flunderies, obviously, is Lightning Storm. A lot of Flunderies players give me mixing results, but if I Lightning Storm your back row, it's smoking if you got him time. And to be honest with you, that's not what you really want to be on in this game and in this meta, but that is the circumstances we are in. So realize that if you are playing Flunderies, I think your game 1 is amazing against a majority of the decks in the game, but the minute you go to game 2 and possibly even game 3, you are at a massive disadvantage right out the gate because every player is expecting to play against you. Cards like Evenly Matched are amazing against you, and cards like Lightning Storm hurt even more. At this point, you might even want to consider citing in Solemn Judgments and or Magic Jammer. I'm not even joking you, because if you can negate a Lightning Storm, you're probably going to win. But if you can't, you're definitely going to lose. We also have Sky Strikers. The thing about Sky Strikers I like a lot is the fact that we know they're getting support. Not only are they getting support, but they're built to play against mid-range decks. They're a pain against most, besides Shadows, mid-range decks, because if you use off Shadow Fusion, you just laugh at them. They're like, oh, look at that. There's extra monster. Can you get rid of it? No? All right. Shadow Fusion, thanks. And then you just murder the face. But besides that fact, I think every other mid-range deck has a huge issue against strikers, as they have been for a while, one of the most, if not the most dominant mid-range decks in the game, even currently right now, which is crazy. Think about it. They're in a game state where we have Scythe, and striker players are still taking dubs. That's how crazy this deck is. And as we move to a mid-range format, this becomes even better, as it already was the king of that mid-range format, or queen. It's going to be the same thing in the next format, and it's going to be a problem for everyone playing branded, because they don't really have a direct answer to these cards. You don't have an answer against a Widow Anchor. Widow Anchor does what Widow Anchor is going to do. It's change of hearts, and I can search it. What can you do? Put a card on board? Cool. Gimme. I think that a lot of these striker cards are really, really good. When Mirror J blows at your board, they just go, oh, that's fine. I'll just go into a Ray. Your turn. Okay, after you draw, Ray goes into Kagari. Or Ray goes into Kana. Ray Shizuku during the end phase. There's a lot of cool things strikers are going to be able to do because of the way Brandon is worded. And because of that, this deck gets better. And with the new support coming out, well, you know how it is. It's going to get really good. Plunder Patrols are expecting to get better. And I don't think a lot of players are ready for this. Like, right now, they're kind of good. In fact, I would argue maybe tier 1, definitely 1.5. But I think Plunder Patrols get better in the new meta because of what they can do. Now, the only reason I do not see Plunder Patrols making its way to a lot of decks and nationals is because if we get the support from Marincess actually replace Plunder Patrols. They just do it better. They make a better version of Towers. And for a lot of decks, they're not going to be able to get over that, especially if you're in the mid-range meta. And you already know, if you played back in 2015, 2016, Towers Turbo is scary when you're playing mid-range, because you're not built to play around something with a crazy high attack that you can't really target. We're just not built that way. So, Marincess actually might be a low-key meta deck. But I will say, if we do not get that war support, I'm expecting Plunder Patrols to be as well. In fact, I'm expecting Plunder Patrols to be as well. The minute we get the Albaz Structure comes out, this will be one of the best decks as well. Because this deck plays mid-range really well. It's done it, and it's proven itself. I'm serious. You need to know how to play against this deck. It's going to be a problem. Prankies aren't going away anytime soon, by the way. I mean, Konami hit, like, Bow Wow to 1, and every Pranky player was like, oh, that's fine. We just need, like, one turn to really, like, make it for, like, you can play, and then we kill you the next turn. Bow Wow to 1? Sure, that's cool. You know what? We'll also add another banlist card for us. Only Pranky players. We'll do Access Code to 1. Nice and fair. Like, it does nothing. Sure, thanks, Konami. That's fine. I think prank kits are really good. This past weekend, looking at regional results, I haven't looked at all the decks, but I see a lot of prank kit decks that have top, which is excellent. Because to be honest with you, I'm sick and tired of side decks doing side things. And I do like prank kits. I think they're a deck that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are realizing slow and more and more that it's becoming more a viable option. And once we get Brandon coming out middle of next month with the new structure deck, it's going to be still a good deck. It's going to do the same exact thing. Nuke the board and kill your opponent. Now, can it do it successfully all the time? That's a question we're going to have to see with the meta. So, what are we going to do with this meta? Because, once again, we're about to see one deck dominate the meta, which is something we really haven't seen in a while. We always have this idea of what this one deck could be to dominate the meta through the past couple of years. There's been conflicting arguments as far as what is the best deck in the meta through the past couple of years. But within 2 weeks, we're going to know what's the best deck in the meta. And I think it's going to be branded. I think it's going to be the best deck, uncontested, and then we're going to be getting a ban list. For you that don't think we're getting a ban list, realize the fact that Konami released the OCG ban list, and we got our TCG ban list last time right after OCG bans coming out. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised today, tomorrow, and next week, relatively soon, we're going to be getting a new ban list that is going to lead us into nationals. It's going to be really important. Looking at that, I think Vanny's Emphasis is going to be a card that could potentially come off the ban list. Should it come off the ban list? No. This card's terrible. And unlike another card I'm about to mention, this card is a card that it feels like Imperial Order. Ooh, I drew it. I get to do my goofy plays. I said it, and now you can't. And I don't really like this card for that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was to come off the ban list, because this card is that kind of card to slow down a lot of decks. And we do need to put the brakes on a lot of decks. We can't have these decks running all over the place. You think a prank kid should run around all over the place and not be stopped at all? It's insane. Do you think Albaz should be running all over the place? If you don't know what it does, trust me, once you realize what this deck does, you're not going to want it to do that. You're going to be like, is there any card in this game that I can use to stop this goddamn deck? Because like first turn, he does this one play, and I can't clean his board out because he recycles and resets all the time, as what Branded does. In fact, a lot of these decks I just mentioned does the same exact thing. They're really efficient at bringing you to the mid game. They want to see you in turn 3. That's when they shine. And a lot of decks right now in the meta, they can't last turn 3. They get blasted. If you are in turn 3 with your current deck in the meta, can you survive? Most players can't. And they can't because they realize the fact that most of the resources are gone. If they haven't hit their combo, they're not going to. Or more importantly, by turn 3, the other deck has something set up, so they're never going to reach their combo. And they realize this. They know, we're fully aware of this. So thinking about it, and knowing that Vayne's Acceptance is just as bad as Imperial Order, but with special summons, what can come out to save us? Gee, I don't know. Looks like in a bad time, when everything's going crazy, maybe we need another card, like, maybe we need something like this. I'm just going to throw this out there. And everyone knows I love Maxi. I have a place out of OTs. I'm not hiding nothing. I'm just going to throw this out there, because I think that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that were bitching against Maxi are going to be pro Maxi soon. Quite a hunch. But I feel like every Yu-Gi-Oh player that's like, Maxi's broken, are going to be like, we need Maxi to stop Albaz. Like, 100%. No doubt in my mind. Like, we have to stop this deck or we lose. Like, no doubt. It has to be done. I'm just throwing it out there. There's the ball. I just threw it out there. People are going to bitch. People are going to complain. They're going to comment to go, V, how dare you talk about Maxi? My pussy hurts. But, like, I think that Maxi is such a broken card, but it's needed in a mid-range format. The last time this card really did shine was in mid-range format. That, in case anyone knows their history of Maxi. In fact, when Maxi first debuted, it was a side deck card in a much slower, at the time, mid-range, now we call it control, kind of format. It was. So looking at it right now, I expect to see Maxi come out. I expect to see Maxi come off the ban list. It's only card that's going to be able to deal with your opponent's special summoning, whether it's their turn or your turn. Because I don't want special summon cards on your turn if you Maxi me on your turn, which you can get and do, which is really, really scary. And there's answers to these other previous decks. To Prank Kids, to Plunder Patrol, to Striker. Strikers is easy. You just Phantasme. Side Phantasme. That's it. Problem solved. You side Phantasm against Strikers, Strikers lose. But against Albaz, there's no one answer. There's not. You have to break the board and kill them, and if you have anything on board, haha, it gets blown up. By the way, you cannot negate the effect of it getting blown up. It's weird, kind of like DPE, where it activates in graveyard the minute it's sent to wherever it's activated, wherever it's sent, and then graveyard, bench, whatever. It activates, that's when you can negate it. Post haste, the minute it goes to end phase, you can't even negate the destruction. It just happens. Have fun with that. No, seriously, like, that's how this card's worded. Let's say you banish it. It gets banished, I activate it. No response, cool. End phase, nuke your board. Oh, but wait a minute, V. I want to negate the nuke. You can't. Get nuked, get wrecked. That's what this card's worded like. It's insane. And if you don't think you need this card, you are insane. Because this is the only way you're going to be able to survive in this meta. If this card doesn't come up the ban list, no big deal. I'm okay with that. I get my branded, and I know a lot of players who are like that same. We get out branded, and what we're going to do is we're going to smack everybody because we've been playing mid-range the entire time, and we're used to it. We understand what it plays like. We understand about conservation and being a more conservative player. You get rewarded in this meta. I can't wait for 2 weeks to happen. Hopefully the ban serves in your favor, not mine anymore. I don't care. 2 weeks comes out, nothing of branded gets touched on the bans, obviously. Sayonara, Konami. I mean, like I said, all we need now is Konami to unlock their COVID vaccine policy so we can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's a whole different story. Other than that, I really appreciate everybody watching my videos. Thank you so much. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, comment down below. It's your boy, V, and YGOPaisano. Have a great day.